The world hates our cover boys. Man, last week it was the De'Aaron Fox situation with Sabonis. Today it's the Terry Rozier. I'm going to have to start waiting till right before lock to make sure I get these covers in place. But there's still lots of moving pieces on the slate, lots of fun stuff to talk through. But it is peak multi-sport athlete season right now. We've had an MLB trade go down. We just had some marquee names in the NFL running back landscape that are going to become free agents. We'll talk about that all on Wednesday with the return and off and on the clock with Pete. We had NBA double dribble and NHL best puck advance today. So we are in the thick of the playoff season there. I'll bring up the leaderboard for the double dribble in a second. And then we had a whole bunch of nice wins, no days off for the Sunday slate. Community doing work even on the weekends. Nez found himself in the top 10 in the main contest. Jewish McCaffrey as well. T-Box as well had a nice day. And then Gut P and Crutches with the W's. So big members of the community doing work there. But I'm going to bring in my guy because it looks like the return of Miami Nez.
You know, we're feeling it. We're feeling it. Post All-Star break, got the mojo back, had a couple good slates, but a couple reasons why we're rocking this today, John. One, you know, the Miami theme. As you know, we've got all of these outs for Miami. We got suspensions. We've got injuries. So we're going to Miami with Jaime Jaquez today. And also, it's a balmy 90 degrees here in Dallas today. So just trying to stay cool, to be quite honest. This is just, it just so happens to play into the bit. I was just trying to not sweat my balls off on this slate.
Dude, it's literally, it's a February 26th at 2 p.m. Central.
Yes.
1 p.m., 2 p.m. Central. And it's 90 degrees. Holy smokes, man. That's crazy. That's literally pretty close to the hottest day summer in the Lower Mainland here.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal for our future, but you know what? We got slates. We've got slates. We've got sports.
Oh, man,
nothing matters.
Funny.
Eat Arby's.
Nothing matters. Eat Arby's. This is heat culture at its finest. 90 degrees heat culture. As I alluded to off the top there, I want to just hit this one real quick. We had the big leaderboard for the season here in the double dribble, which is going to be paid out. Not yet. The payout for advancement has taken place. The payout for this will take place on Wednesday, I believe the tweet said. As always, just go ahead and follow Underdog Drafts on the X there. But yeah, a little shout out here, Patty Jorg or Patty J Org, I'm going to say something like that. But then two of our guys, members of our community, right below there in Adam Clev and Inthrius, giving us a nice shout out on Twitter there. So big shouts to you guys. And if you keep scrolling, see Rorschach there as well. I see Chipsy's name in there as well. Just a little bit of the who's in the season long NBA streets.
Any results for Rotorun in that search bar?
Let's find out. Let's see. Okay.
Hey! All right.
Got one. There we go.
What's that good for? A cool $20?
I don't know, but it's good for 7,994th place. So count those Skolanskis at home, boys.
All right, battle the touts. Type in NEZ.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. That's worth 15 USD, which is 9,000 Canadian. So I can pay my mortgage. There you go.
1.5x.
All right, Nez. Oh, dude, you got a couple in here.
Oh, check me out. All right.
Dude, 815, 5,000, 6988, nice. And 9,000. You got 5. You're gonna have some live bullets going into the finals here. I got 2 bullets left in the double dribble. How many do you have?
Dude, it's honestly crazy. I have, so you see me 1, 2, 3, 4 times on here. I have 3 bullets. Like,
oh,
what?
So
we're giving out participation trophies here at the bottom of this regular season, dude.
Hey, well, you deserved it. You put up a nice enough team I mean, there you go. There's the conversation of pods, right? And why the variance in the sports exists. Like such a beautiful thing that you have to win your pod, because that must have been like, a streamed draft or something like this, really sharp room you found yourself in where you could still earn regular season money, but you couldn't advance it. That's wild.
Yeah, my best team is pretty funny. It's just like 3 guards, Luca, Brunson, and Harden, and then a shit ton of wings. And then I had Chet as my like anchor big. So just kind of a funny team there. Type in our Neumy2 when you get a chance too, because he just peppered the leaderboard.
Dude, this is gonna be Neumy's last contest.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
His last hurrah, dude. You're gonna look at this.
Oh, man. Look at this. Holy, touching tribute to the guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Holy smokes. Well done.
That's awesome. I wonder if this gets to his like Neumy2 account, or does it funnel to the Shane Newman admin account? Like how does
it goes to Neumy2, and then he's never allowed to cash out until they fire him.
It's locked away in escrow.
Yeah, that'd be so funny. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I'm confused. I moved this here. I got this here. Let's easy.
Putting you in timeout, dude.
All right, let's see. Okay, Copper Prices said he autoed 10. How did he do? Let's check this out.
He must have done okay. He wouldn't say this if he
autoed 10 and he put 4 in the top. Maybe I should have autoed 10.
Dude, I say this every year that like, man, like I should have went harder on these. Right. And then but it's so hard because it overlaps with like in the middle of football season and in the middle of baseball season. Next season, I'm definitely going to commit to it. I definitely want to, having been so entrenched in the hoop streets day in and day out, like at volume, like I think I am much more well equipped to go head on in this contest next season. I can't imagine it'll have much, if any, regular season payout next season, but I you never know.
Well, I think it's like it's a cool thing about being on this platform is it's like this secular fulfilling prophecy over and over again. So like if you grind the dailies for NBA, this leads your knowledge to the playoff contest. And then if you grind that playoff contest, it leads your knowledge to the following year's double dribble contest or whatever. And then if you're crossing over multiple sports like this, it's a beautiful thing because we played like MLB dailies last year and now we're drafting Dinger, but we're playing NBA dailies at the same time, which is going to push into next summer's double dribble. So it is like kind of like this reward within reward that even if you're not winning in isolated events, you're accumulating knowledge that's going to snowball itself into wins down the road, right?
Yeah, definitely being so involved in every tournament will be helpful. Right. I'm just thinking like structure wise for payouts. I don't think we're going to see a cumulative tournament again, but it's tough because with NBA, like, there is silly season, but
what makes you say that? Why?
I mean, like, I don't think it was well received. I mean, you can see some comments and like, I think, it's not for Enthrius and Adam. I bet, hey, they probably love this structure and, and I'm happy for them. But for the most part, it seems like, the appetite for this type of contest just really isn't there for the people that are on Underdog.
Right. They want the weekly, they want the top heavy in the finals kind of thing. You mean?
Yeah. I think I think there might be enough capital out there to run 2 where you do one that's just like top 100 regular season payouts and it's just super top heavy, and you run that one, and then you run a separate one that is, the normal best ball structure that we're accustomed to, and you just like let the sickos that have the edge of grinding playoff schedules and thinking ahead on silly season shit like that, just let that edge live. It is what it is.
I think I might sit on the other side of the fence of that argument there. I think we're going to remember as we fall into silly season with the dailies and stuff, I think we're going to remember how tilting it is that you push a team to the finals that has, Luka and Sabonis on it, and they both sit out a week, Like, I think we're going to come full circle on that narrative and be like, there's something here. Maybe this one wasn't perfect, but at least we were stepping in the right direction. I don't know. That's kind of where my mind's at with it, because I do like that, silly season hasn't come about yet, and we've got like some money dispersed already. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to see. Well, I'll have to
Yeah.
pay much closer attention to these best ball playoffs this year, because I didn't pay attention at all last year to the best ball playoffs for NBA. So getting to really know, because it's nice that it is 2 weeks. It's like baseball in that regard, where it's 1 week cumulative, another week cumulative, and that is like a round. So there is plenty of time to things to kind of like even out over the silliness. And I think the rules too this season have done a pretty good job of limiting, most rests. So I don't know, man. I hear you. I think there is a place for it, but for the flagship contest, people love the sweat, man. We're at the end of the day, it's like the action's the juice.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. No, I feel that. And like, Chip's got a fair point in the chat here. Like, this is not like he's saying like 94 people make money in the playoffs in NBA. So that's probably not what the initial design was set up for, right? Like, just push up the ending like they did would be a good move. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll have that conversation in the future, circle back on that. But for the meantime, big shouts to everyone who found themselves near the top of this leaderboard here, especially our guy in 3S there. Let's talk a little NBA today.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. You want to start with schedule here? I guess we can go game by game just because it's
we only got 4 games.
Okay, let's do it. Revenge games all over the place, Nez. We got this Pistons Knicks rivalry. It's a rivalry now with Quentin Grimes on the one side, Malachi Flynn on the one side there, and then on the other side, Bojan Bojanovic and Alec Burks. This absolute Pistons Knicks rivalry, and then on the other side, Pacers Raptors. We got the big Pascal Siakam trade there, so we got Bruce Brown on the other side. Big rivalries everywhere, all over the place in terms of revenge.
Yeah, that's certainly one headline going on today. I mean, this is a big time isolation of quite a few teams. Half this slate I can't stand. The other half I'm like so glad, right? Like, Raptors and Pacers, obviously two teams of like both of my sons on both of these teams. Very excited about that. Cade on the slate, it's always fun. Nets and Grizzlies, that's just a mud fest, just disgusting, gross game there, but a lot of players getting drafted out of that one. And then the one that we can't see is really the biggest story on the day in Kings and Heat. And there's no way that spread doesn't increase a couple more points, in my opinion, after the latest news.
They got 7.5 on the Sacramento side.
Interesting. Okay, they just played last night, right?
Yep. Yeah, Kings played last night, and as of they're gonna file in 5 or 8 minutes here. They're gonna file their injury report then.
Yeah, I guess like that 7.5 maybe implies some rest somewhere on the King side. Who knows? But I'm not like playing it like that. I'm drafting these guys where they go for the most part. I think like today is one of those slates where when it's this size, I mainly go around to each game and I just look for viable 6-round picks, because for me, the top 30 is pretty well defined. But it is definitely worth like getting in depth on this slate, because like the top 30 has changed like in the last like hour because of the Hero news and the Rozier news. So it's shifted guys up, move some guys back. So it's kind of crazy how you want to play this slate. But
okay. Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that'll be reflected in projection updates and stuff there. And then it doesn't help that the other 2 games on the slate, like why Miami's such a focal point of this slate, is it doesn't help that the other 2 games on the slate are so ugly. Like the Knicks are playing at a crawling snail's pace. Like they are playing so effing slow. Plus there's Hartenstein's minutes. We don't really know if he's going to be back to full there, so we don't know definitively what the rotation will look like there. And then the Grizz and Nets, there's a little ambiguity there with Simmons. We don't know if he's going to go or not. I lean in the direction of him sitting. And with the new coach and stuff with Ollie there, I don't know what that means for the starting lineup or the rotation. I think Schroeder probably jumps into that, or did it? Yeah, I think he jumps in there. But then there's also like the Grizz side. Like, they've been really good on defense this year. So do I even necessarily want to get to like some of the Nets value in quotations, right? So the comfy game environments are the two in the Pacers Raptors and in the Kings Heat game. And that's why I guess the Heat news matters so much. But it's a good thing we got it early, right?
For sure. I think it's it's really weird. Maybe like on the surface, it's weird that like we have 4 games, most of them are ugly, a lot of stars are out, and my player pool is like almost 50 players deep because of the ambiguity at the end. You can go so many different ways in the 6th round. So maybe this is a super awesome scroll the F down slate because of that. Like, my player pool is almost never this deep. And we have,
especially for a 4-gamer.
Yeah, and I'm like debating between like, do I want to give Bruce Brown a shot in my lineup? Do I want to say, like, it's disgusting, but I think there's literally 45 guys worth being drafted, or maybe 44 because I do have like I have an out tag in here, so like 44 players being drafted here.
Okay, before we go game by game here, I'll give you 2 or 3 of mine. Who are 2 or 3 of your grossest names you have clicked thus far?
Well, I didn't click them yet, but I'm probably gonna do some Delon Wright swaps.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've got so much Terry, and I've got a lot of Ben Simmons. I'm kind of hoping Simmons sits because I'm taking him in the 6th, and I just want to have that pick open. I have a lot of Simmons, and then the gross, like some actual gross ones, Caleb Martin.
That's fine.
Zaire Williams.
That's fine. I really like Zaire Williams tonight, to be honest.
Santi Aldama.
Yep.
Kevin Love is in my player pool, but I don't think I'm ever going to actually click him.
Yeah, likewise.
And and Caleb Martin is in my player pool as well, but it's pretty gross, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've clicked grosser names than that. Like I've clicked Kelly Olynyk splitting the 5 minutes with Jakob. I've clicked TJ McConnell. I've clicked Quentin Grimes, who played 26 minutes last game. And then I have clicked Dennis Schroeder for sure. Dennis Smith Jr. I clicked once. There we go. Those are kind of like the grossest ones I've gone to, I think.
Yeah, and I mean they're playable.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with Raptors Pacers. Highest total on the slate, seemingly pace up-ish environment, especially comparative to the other games on the slate here. As I alluded to, man, like Kelly O low-key cutting into Jakob Poeltl's minutes in a decent way and kind of like splitting that 24-24 at the center position. I think Poeltl's hard to not click in like the 4th round there, but I think his 18 ADP might be one of my favorite fade spots currently. That's where I'm coming at it from. I think Miles Turner, his ADP is a little high, but if you get Jalen Smith ruled out with this perennial Q tag of the back spasms, all of a sudden he becomes a smash, right? So, yeah. What are your first thoughts on this game environment?
It's like, I mean, far and away, obviously the best game to draft from today. You have, just as far as like ADP goes, Halliburton 3, and then you go Scotty Barnes, and then Siakam, and Quickly, and Barrett, and we haven't even gotten out of the top 20 yet. Poeltl. I mean, this game is loaded with options for us today. I am getting to quite a few of these guys, man. I have Scotty ranked 4th today, so I'm trying to get a lot of Scotty, and I think I'm not alone in that because I'm not like way over the field Scotty like you would expect for him to be if I have him where I have him, but technically you would expect 50% at that based on ADP and where I have him. I'm only at 20% and I have him ranked 4th, so I don't think I'm alone in there.
Yeah. I think the reason you're not alone in there is the initial models have him like 3rd. So
do they really?
I think, so I think people are just like drag and dropping and then auto drafting off that stuff. And then, that's just where he is. What is it about the Scotty Barnes matchup that draws you to it? Because
the Pacers.
Yeah.
It's the Pacers and it's Scotty, man. It's Scotty versus the Pacers. He's just gonna stuff the stat sheet. I'm not like over Fox, like who's been running extremely, extremely hot against this Miami team. I mean, I prefer Scotty there. I'm not gonna let the recency bias of Fox get in my head there. I guess you could maybe look at Bam, and we might get some big time Bam usage. I mean, we will. It's just a matter of what that
he gets a pretty good bump in terms of ball handling and assists when Butler is out. I was galbraining one of these earlier, in the MLB situations where you get a guy suspended on the day before and then he has an out tag the whole day and then they wait until lock to file an appeal. And then we get like Jimmy Buckets actually playing tonight and becomes like a swap option for something like that. I'd be like, that's peak NBA. That's something that happens in baseball a lot. I was kind of looking into the rules a little bit. I don't think it can happen in NBA tonight. I don't think it can, but I was like, I wasn't ready to write it off until I did like a little bit of like do your own research kind of thing. I don't think it can happen, but I wasn't ruling out the possibility. That was super.
Well, that's why I got all this Ben Simmons and Terry Rozier, so I can swap to a late active Jimmy.
Yeah, there you go. Low key, I don't know. Like Sabonis has been on fire. Sabonis it was his 20th triple double last night of the season. Like that puts him in like rarefied air with like some big boys. I think it's only I can't remember. I saw the tweet earlier. 6th or 7th time it's ever been done in a season in NBA history. And he was snubbed from the All-Star game. It's like pretty dirty. But this Bam matchup, obviously not the best in the world for him. Is he still just slam dunk 101? Because I have seen a couple people take Brunson over him.
I don't know how you can not take Sabonis here. 101. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in lockstep with you there. It's just so hard to not right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially against in this matchup, like with Brunson's my clear cut to 102, but yeah.
Okay. Any names on the back end of Pacers and Raptors that you want to get to? I said I got to Kelly O, literally just once. We saw Jordan Nwora start last game, but then not really play. It was really weird. I don't know. He's had flashes, and this is revenge game for him. Not that it really matters. But just, throwing some names out here. You get to Obi Toppin et al., TJ McConnell, Doug McDermott kind of filling that Buddy Hield, but off the bench style role. Anything there for you?
I'm taking, so from the Pacers side, I'm not really dipping into their bench, really.
Okay. Do you take Mathurin in the 4th?
Yeah. Like when Mathurin is there, I mean, I'm taking Jaime Jaquez over him at the moment. But Nembhard in the 6th has been like a smash for me whenever he falls there. But I'm not really dipping into their bench. I can understand a TJ in the 6th, but it's definitely not going to be a major part of my teams. And then on the Raptors side, like the Raptors low key, I mean, you can go to Bruce Brown, you can go to Kelly O. That's where like I draw the line from there. I don't know that Bruce Brown has enough to give, but Kelly O, like you said, is playing, a good amount, but that's not making me scared about Jakob Poeltl though.
Okay.
But I think it makes Kelly O playable.
Yep. Fair enough. Yep. We're kind of in lockstep there. I'm kind of out on the Nembhard one. Nemhard to me he's a completely different player when Hallie's active and he doesn't have like a ball handling role. I just don't really see the ceiling, and I see the second unit being run by McConnell. So I was clicking McConnell over Nemhard for what it's worth, but I do think Nemhard probably plays more minutes. But I like the ceiling of TJ in the sixth more than a Nemhard who's going to be higher owned. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I can't get away from like 32 minutes against the Raptors. If that's where he ends up, then I'll take that bet.
Okay, cool. Mr. TD said quickly going really early. I agree. He's kind of like artificially propped up right now and is a low-key fade at ADP for me. I like the Mikal Bridges behind better. So I've been taking Bridges over quickly. So it's kind of led to next to no quickly for me thus far. Where are you at on that one, Nez?
I'm taking quickly. When I get him, he is for me like. I'm like going back and forth between him and Miles Turner whenever I'm at that pick, at like that 10 pick.
10, 11. Okay.
Yeah, dude, quickly plays so much. This is a pace up spot. This is going to be a pretty good game for quickly, I'd say. He's never going to give you like 50, which Miles Turner can flirt with 50. Claxton can really flirt with 50 as well, given the stock upside, and we've seen Mikal, do that, but I can't get off quickly today.
It's fair.
Is what it is.
Yeah, I just can't shake the fact that like he plays 36 minutes against Atlanta. Looks like he's gonna smash. He goes, whatever it was, 25, 6-5, or 25 or something like that, right? His last two box scores like look almost identical. And he just he never meets value. Even last time when we were like, hey, if you get the RJ ruled out and it's at Atlanta and it's, it looked like the biggest smash spot on paper, and he gets out to this like screaming hot start and he gets 18 points in the first kind of like 14 minutes and he just still doesn't get home because it just doesn't funnel through him. It's weird, man. I don't know. Quickly's like ceiling just seems so capped even when it's so nutted. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is that type of slate. I mean, we're talking about Emmanuel Quickly
for sure.
Pick 10.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. I'd prefer Bridges if Simmons is out. That's just where I'm at.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's talk Knicks. Let's talk Pistons here. Pistons rotation probably going to be like considerably deeper than it has been in our mind in the past. Cade has a soft minutes limit. Coach said so. Which is kind of interesting. Makes his price kind of frothy. But then again, who else are you going to push over Cade at that 8 or 9 spot? Like Siakam, Quickly, Bridges. Like I'd still rather have Cade. So even if he has a soft minutes limit there, but the Knicks play slow as hell, and they're 11.5 point favorites here. What do you like, Nez? What do you not like? Where are you taking guys?
I'm taking Cade at ADP. That soft minutes limit I was not aware of, but I'm still taking him. He still is like the offense for Detroit, so no concerns for me. Like as far as this slate goes and Cade's ADP. Duran had a really nice game against the Magic.
Yep.
Biggs low key have been having good games against the Magic. This Knicks game, I'm like, I can't tell what kind of game we're gonna get out of Duran. He's been way more swingy than usual. Before it was just like a cool like 39 points every time, no matter what. Like what you're getting. Now he's going like, hey, like here's a 50 ball, back to 24, 47. Like, what are we doing with this guy? I am not taking a ton of Duran at the moment because I'm pushing up RJ and I'm pushing up Mikal over Duran. So I'm not getting a ton of Duran. Man, I don't want to, and I would love to never take Jaden Ivey, but I do end up drafting Jaden Ivey, but not before too many guys. But I don't know what are you drafting Jaden Ivey? Are you avoiding him, or like what? Like, because dude, this guy has done nothing but absolutely suck in the last since I can remember.
I think Sasser being out boosts Ivy. Like, I
For
think
sure.
that matters. So I like Ivy in the 5th. I think people are going to look at Asar Thompson's box score and not realize that he was in foul trouble, and maybe that's why Quentin Grimes like got some more run and they played a little bit smaller last game and whatever. I think I like Asar more than Ivy, and their ADPs don't reflect that. So I think I have those two flipped, but I'll definitely be taking Ivy at like 27, 28. But he does feel kind of like floor-y in terms of like that back end. If I want to shoot the moon, I'd rather kind of shoot the moon with a GG Jackson type than shoot the moon with like Jaden Ivey over and over again in the 5th round, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm telling myself that Ivy deserves to be where he is, but I just, it feels really bad. What my boy though, former Jazz Simone Fontecchio,
Yeah,
got me into a favorable position last slate. I had quite a bit of him. Maybe got a little lucky with the Osor foul trouble, but he found himself to 30 points and 31 fantasy, or 30 minutes and 31 fantasy points. So that was exciting. I don't know that he's going to do it again, but like, I liked him as a Jazz. Like when he was on Utah, I was like, this guy can kind of play a little bit. Like they were starting him. I'm like, why the fuck are they starting this Fontecchio dude? Then I watched their game and I'm like, okay, like not bad. Well, and now he's on the Pistons, and the Pistons have nobody. So it's like, Fontecchio, you're getting 30 minutes. I don't know.
In your defense, nothing about the Jazz's rotations and starting units ever makes sense on paper to us on the outside, but then they always just somehow seem to work out. So the fact that they were playing Fontecchio, it's probably like a pretty good sign that he's decent, but why would they deal him away then? But yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch the Orlando game at all on Saturday night, but yeah, I've clicked his name a handful of times, but there's guys back here I like better.
Yeah, it's just so freaking flat that I'm trying not to get too take locked here. Like I really want to mix up my 6th round.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's definitely in play as a 6th round mix in. My biggest thing right now is taking 2 guys in the 6th that I like in the 5th and 6th. That's kind of been like my thing. It's just like, okay, I don't mind getting take locked if I think I'm right. Like I've been doing like Caleb Martin and like Dennis Schroeder like together and being like, who else is doing this unless we get the starting lineup for the Nets, like, you know, right before lock, and then people start doing that. I don't know. Maybe it naturally happens now that we got the Miami stuff ruled out so early.
It's going to naturally or however you want to call it, happen for me because I've got a ton of Simmons and Rozier and Hero, like sometimes all 3 on one team. So I'm gonna have like I'm still on the clock for like 50 spots.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah. Anyone else you want to mention in that basketball game? Precious Achiuwa's a guy that like I don't know. Like there's this clump in the 2nd and 3rd round right now with no, it's with Achiuwa basically in the 2nd round is the one that I'm kind of struggling with because like Hart and DiVincenzo kind of like that back end 3rd, 4th right now, and you could kind of twist my arm into taking some of the Miami guys over them now. But like if you like this spot, taking Precious at ADP still feels rich.
Yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot of Precious today. He's he is way up there, right? What's his ADP? 14.9. I mean, I can't take him over RJ. You know, likewise. I don't even know that I want to take him over DiVincenzo, you know, like, so, pretty much a major stay away, for me, especially because I'm sort of bullish on Hartenstein, getting 24 minutes last game. I thought it was pretty solid for him. So
I agree.
Yeah, I'm kind of into him having because he has the ability to just like crush fantasy points when he's in there. So even if he does only play 25 again, I think he has the ability to like, crack the optimal.
Yeah, no, I like where your head's at there. I've been pushing up Hartenstein and pushing down Precious, and then just taking the discount of like 5th round Hartenstein and be like, we saw his minutes go from 14 to 24 to, even if he just plays 24, I'm comfortable with him at ADP. But then you untap this ceiling that if they do stretch him to 30, 32 in a competitive game environment, somehow this becomes a competitive game environment, you unlock whatever 10 picks of value in your lineups.
Yeah, I'm checking out right now this the PRAs of some guys around him. Him and Hawkes right now are like the exact same in PRA. Obviously, Precious has some block upside. Duncan Robinson has projects a little better than Hawkes, so I think I need to cool off on the Hawkes stuff.
Fair enough. Any chance that these players whom were swapped for one another get some run tonight and can be mixed in the 6th round? Like, can we give a couple more minutes to like Alec Burks and Boyan have basically not been playing a ton. Quentin Grimes had the 25 or 26 minutes last game out. Any of those guys pique your interest in the 6th round to get over the field on?
Not like, I mean, like, sure. I'm not like jumping up and down to get these guys, but yeah, I'm not going to rule them out in today because like the 6th round picks that I like project like half a fantasy point better than those guys. But I mean, like to be very transparent, like I'm not drafting them. Okay. I can't draft everybody, but I think, but like I'm not gonna like poop on your shout. Like I think that's
no, it wasn't even a shout. It's a question. I don't know. Like it's just whether they play more or not. In if you get some low key like Knicks blowout run, I'm not even sure it matters because this game's going to be so slow comparative to the other ones. Like you can knock like 4, 5, 6 possessions off both these teams in this game, like comparative to usual. Like it's ugly. Yeah. But I'm with Nick here. Like just keep drafting Hartenstein until it works. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's the easiest way to sum it up for me.
One of the things that I think might be interesting is like Brunson projects and Pick'ems for 46.55 fantasy points. Halliburton projects for 0.4 more. Is that worth like gaining some leverage on the field and like putting Halliburton 2?
I have Halliburton 2 right now. So
yeah.
I don't know how much leverage that gains or whatever, but I have Hallie 2.
And then some other ones here like Barnes is 41. Just looking at Pick'ems.
Yeah.
Fox 39. Bam 43. So maybe I need to get some Bam back in my life.
Yeah, Bam seems like the one that the models hadn't caught up to yet, but like just because of the assist potential and ball handling potential now that they're down 3 of their best guards.
Yeah, I mean, point Bam is real.
Yeah. It's like
it is very it's low key, a real thing.
It's low key like the Zion role.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's definitely not as aggressive, but like, big dude with the ball is definitely that's what they do. It's fun to watch, man. Like I wasn't like super familiar with his game for a while. Yeah, I liked what I saw whenever he takes over that ball handling role. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go Nets Grizz. This is actually lowest total on the slate here. Maybe just because of the lack of talent in general, but Memphis has low-key been good on defense, man. Like, and they've had nobody all year and they've low-key been good. So I don't know. Maybe this does play to this total. Maybe it does play low. I have found myself going to this game a decent amount, which is kind of scary given the just macro view of this slate, but I've been going to it because I think there's big minute potential that is considerably cheaper than everywhere else. So I think like between Williams, and Santi Aldama, they're all underpriced in terms of the amount of minutes they could play tonight. Now, whether they play well or pay off their price tags is another completely different thing. But like if you're giving me the 1v1 of like Zaire Williams versus Malik Monk tonight, I'm taking Zaire Williams. That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Let's see. Monk, ADP 24.5. Zaire's like what, 31 or something?
Yeah.
34.
32 and a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't really have strong opinions on these Grizzlies, like I missed the Zaire Williams ceiling game that like the day before the All-Star break, I think it was. Missed that game bad. So that just absolutely killed me. I was in on Vince and Gigi, aka Gregory. I love Vince Williams. Love me some Vince Williams. So I'll have some Vince, but I mean he's a sub 20 pick today for the love of God.
It speaks to the slate.
Yeah. Now Nick Claxton is I don't know if you could consider him a model darling, but they like him today a lot.
Yeah. So here's my stance on Claxton. He is a lot better without Ben Simmons taking back up 5 minutes because they turn into a 3-5 rotation. And now this is a little different because the coaching staff has obviously changed since the All-Star break. And we're not definitively certain on this, but like Claxton was playing super big minutes when Sharp was out and Simmons were out, and those box scores looked phenomenal, when he had the threat of like reaching 32, something like that. Now that Simmons has been back and there's new staff, they've been kind of running like a 3-man rotation at the 5 there, and Claxton's minutes have been low-key down. I think if Simmons sits tonight, Claxton looks better than he currently does, and he's already popping now. That being said, the other side of the equation, like there's not that many good rebounding bigs on the Grizz.
Yeah, I mean, is Jaren Jackson or Aldama like their best? I mean, quote unquote best rebounders, and their ass. So yeah, this could be like a 10-16 game for Nick Claxton there. If we don't get Simmons, so Schroeder would probably be in the starting lineup, right? As like the one.
That's what I think. I don't know. Yeah.
I only say that as a question because like, I mean, I don't know. I'm waiting for Cameron Johnson to kind of have a big time game. We know it can happen.
I played like 30 lineups on Saturday night there as we were like driving out to the puck game, and I was just drafting in the car as we were going, and I took Cam Johnson in like the 5th round, I think in 20 of the 30.
Love it.
I was just like the short slate. I was like, this is Cam Johnson night.
Yeah.
It was not Cam Johnson night.
No, not exactly, but he can give boards.
Yeah.
So maybe in the 6th, but yeah, I think Schroeder becomes pretty interesting if Simmons ends up sitting, which I think most people think he will. But yeah.
Cool. Anything else on that game or Heat Kings?
I'm ready to do Heat Kings, and then we can hop in some drafts. We want to do some baseball too, if we can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Make it sub 2.
Yeah, the Heat stuff is interesting now. Obviously, Terry Rozier and Hero out, and then you also have the fake Nikolai Jokic out, and Jimmy Buckets out as well. DeLon Wright, they signed I guess 2 or 3 games ago, something like that. He has barely played for them, but there's like some family connection to him and the Heat. I don't know. Yeah, Gallagher said something about it. I can't remember the connection. Yeah, it was something smart though. But
models don't have family trees baked into their numbers.
Yeah, and and then on the other side, Kings, like did they submit? I haven't been looking on the Twitter. Talk about the Heat for a second, Nez, and I'll check the injury report for the Kings.
Yeah, the Heat have like 5 dudes. I mean, I don't think Cole Swider is even in our player pool. He is He is, but we don't have to worry about him. Don't I mean Delon Wright? I don't know how to like put the emphasis on what part of his name there. Delon Wright
Mhm.
is in our top 36, folks,
Yeah.
and doesn't get drafted. So if you want to like me personally, I am not going to draft him today because I have infinite swaps that I need to take care of, and I'm going to
Mhm.
get a lot of him in those swaps. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get him later. But if you don't have a lot of swaps yet, I think you should make sure that you get him in the sixth
Okay.
because I mean, as far as the ball handling role goes for the Heat, I mean, we mentioned Point Bam, but like they don't have a point guard.
Mhm.
It's just
And
him.
DeLon Wright had some nice games this year for the Wiz, like out of nowhere kind of games, and he wasn't their like primary guy by any stretch of the imagination. He had like kind of what the Denny Avdia role is right now. He played that for stretches during the season for them, and yeah. Anyways, he had some nice
Dude, I love
games.
DeLon Wright. I used to be a big
Yeah.
fan of him when he was on the Raptors.
Mhm.
I'm very familiar with his game, so I'm excited to see him get some run here. It's just a matter of like how well in shape he is and how many minutes they can afford to give him. He's going to have to get as many as he can get because Lord knows Kevin Love cannot handle more than like 22 minutes.
Right.
Especially against the Kings where they're going to push. Kevin Love's going to be on his hands on his knees. Like there's no
Mhm.
way that he can run with these guys, but low key though, man, like if Kevin Love does play like 26 minutes and they need someone to shoot a three, like I'm not going to draft Kevin Love tonight. I'm just simply painting a picture that I can actually see happening where it's like, holy fuck, Kevin Love has 30 fantasy points. And
Yeah, he's not going to break a slate over here for us, I don't think, but I think he's like in play on like redacted where like the rosters are deeper. Um
there.
Sacramento Kings have still not submitted, so I don't know. Bunch of guards out, could see some funny business. De'Aaron Fox opened up post All-Star break about having shoulder soreness and like having that's why some of his box scores in past weeks hadn't looked the way in which they've looked for the last 2 weeks here or last week and a bit here since the All-Star break. I don't know how much merit there is to the fact that it was his shooting shoulder too, because he's left-handed, but it was something about his left shoulder. I don't know, just saying it because I read it and it was stated. But he's been playing some good ball the last like week or two here. Same with Sabonis, obviously. Keegan Murray, good spot up shooting spot here in this game. I've been trying to get over on Keegan Murray. I think Johnny Basketballs said in the chat there that he likes Murray over Monk in a vacuum.
Oh,
I do as well.
yeah, man.
His
You want the
minutes.
thesis, right? You remember the Keegan Murray thesis?
Mhm.
Anytime he doesn't have to D up an all-star, he goes off. Because he's
Right.
devoting so much energy and concentration to that smart
Mhm.
defensive assignment. Well, now
Love it.
all he has to do is lock up Jaime Jaquez. So he's making it rain tonight. I
They can
mean,
just run up and down the court and trade threes.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Fuck yeah. I love it. All right. We're so in on Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray heard it here. Best ADP play on the slate tonight.
I mean, hey, now, I
Fuck.
think for
I'll
my
say it.
money, for me, it's Caleb Martin as the
Okay.
best play. The
Okay.
best play right now. Like I and all of the other slappies are boosting up Jaime Jaquez and Duncan Robinson right now. Caleb Martin
Mhm.
is still not getting drafted every time,
Okay.
and
For what it's
he's
worth, I
he's
saw.
he's got just as much of a range of outcomes as these guys.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like it. I mean, like you talk about the ball handling rule there. If they don't want to, maybe not. I was gonna go a little gal brain on it, but maybe I don't even believe myself
If
on
you're about
this
to
one.
talk about any players other than like their starting five, like might as well just hop in the draft.
Oh shit. Any interest in Harrison Barnes or Kevin Herter in this game environment? Anyone else deeper on the Kings that we could get to?
Herder for sure.
Okay.
Barnes, I have principles. I have a code, man. It cannot draft Harrison
Never,
Barnes.
never
N-
Barnacle of the Bay. Is he on the
ne-
never list?
I mean, he's not even on the list because it's like you don't. He's never in consideration. I don't have
All
to put him on
right.
a list. He's not.
Okay.
He's nowhere to be found. He's not in the index.
Never Cade, never Barnacle of the Bay.
Dude, you're getting me excited for Never Dodgers season. We're getting there. And now that Ohtani's there, it's gonna be so much harder, but it's gonna be so much better. Oh my
Dude,
god.
the Never Dodgers way you're gonna get paid off this year is incredible.
People are gonna learn. That's like,
Yeah.
scroll the F down. It's been appropriated. It's gone mainstream. We're hipsters now. We've been scrolling the F down. It's time for folks to learn Never Dodgers, and they're gonna learn this season. I mean, dude, it's the biggest edge in sports.
I like it. Yeah, Johnny Basketball saying that Murray dropped 51 fantasy points his last time against Miami.
Ooh-wee.
Not sure how much water that holds, but I will allow it in the conversation. If you had to flip the board today with one name at the 101 or the 102, other than is going here, who is that name?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I can't flip the board at the 101 or 102.
I could flip it at 102 with one name.
Who? Bam?
Bam.
Yeah.
You go ceiling Bam game and you flip the board and you take him at 102 and you introduce some combinations that nobody else is going to do.
See, I hear you. I hear you, but like no one has stolen more money from me this season than Bam Adebayo has. So
entirely fair.
Fair. I've got some big beef with him, even though this is like the last time I lost a lot of money on him was on the Kings. Yeah, when he was facing the Kings, they were a little healthier as a team there. So probably a bad time to have that like burnt into my memory. Last time I had a vendetta against a player, I think it was LaMelo Ball early in the season when I watched him play when I had a lot of him and the game was trash. I was like, I can't believe LaMelo Ball is like a star in the league. He's awful. He was played the next day against the Wizards. And I was like, dude, fuck LaMelo Ball. Like, I can't stand watching this dude play. Faded, and he smashed, of course, because everybody needs a hater, and you know what? I'm your guy. I'm your guy. But if I was to flip at the 10 at the 6, I think I could maybe do a little flippy from where Magikarp is. R.I.P. By the way.
Why R.I.P.?
He hasn't been in our Discord.
Oh, he's been keeping his plays to himself.
He pieced out on us.
Oh,
he said he'd be back.
Just needed a mental break. I respect it.
We're a lot over there. Just enough.
Okay, quickly, and Claxton go in front here. I like Bridges as one of these picks, and then you could twist my arm on the other ones.
I think it's Miles Turner.
You like Turner?
Yeah, you could do Bridges and Barrett, but I think for the stream and how I would like play these most of the time, it would be Bridges and Turner.
Okay, and you like them both over during tonight?
Yeah, I'd say most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ceiling game from Mikal in a while, but the models always love them.
Yeah, because they want to, it's like broken clock type stuff. Twice a day you hit, and it's like, oh yeah, this is why we're in on Mikal, because he does have that, even though he's like, dude, he's a role player, right? He's fun.
Poor man's Brandon Ingram. Isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
That's comp ever. They got the same bodies. They both like to shoot three. They both like to. They're both kind of lazy.
BI. I just think of BI as so different from Mikal. I'll have to think.
He doesn't hit you with this one every time he hits a bucket.
Did you see Scotty Barnes hit Mikal with that?
Yeah. I was watching that game actually.
Oh,
it was the first game after the All-Star break, and he just hits a three in his face, and boom.
God, he said he got that from the Padres.
I'm trying to remember.
Did you ever hear that story?
No.
Why Mikal Bridges does that? Because when the Padres would get an extra base hit, they would look at the dugout and like do that, and he thought it was cool. So he's like, I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know that Mikal is a Chad baseball fan. That's what's up.
Now I respect it. I respect it more. Now I'm gonna take him at the front end of every board here. Nez, we got a gift that just came back to us.
Yeah,
we could take both the Heat guys here.
dude, like, it feels pretty damn good.
Okay. Do you want to take Robinson and Jaime, or do you want to take Robinson and Keegan or someone else?
No, let's take both these guys.
Okay. I mean, the other thing is, if you don't take one here and we take Keegan, with our last pick, we can take DeLon Wright.
We can take a Raptor instead. Jaime, he was a point guard in UCLA, right?
He was Pac-12 Player of the Year last year. I remember that. I mean, he definitely had like a dominant ball handling role. I don't know if he was classified as a point guard.
Yeah, I don't see him as like a primary ball handler today, but I'm just wondering, like, can he rack up some, like, I'm trying to think of like a stat line Hawkes can give us. Maybe a little 5 by 5.
Okay, take it easy. We've definitely seen ceiling games from him this season.
Oh, I know.
When in both Hero, before they had Rozier, and before when Hero, Lowry, and Buckets were out, and he came through with like a 50 burger.
Rent free in my head, man. I love a guy like Jaime who it feels like it probably way less than I give him credit for. Like, feels like he has like some good stock upside while also being able to contribute in rebounds and assists as well. We just need to get that offensive explosion from him, but he's such a odd offensive player. He's a good role player on a team, but he's a goofy fit and he's a perfect heat, Yeah,
he is. He is listed just as guard on their site. I don't play Duncan because he's a hater. Interesting. Oh, Mikkel tweets about the Phillies. He's a Phillies guy. There you go. There's a good
grew up in Philly, I believe. Good Nova kid.
Okay, I respect it now. All right. Who were you gonna tell me this pen on as the Raptor?
Well, I was going to say maybe Kelly O, but to be honest, man, I think Simmons here is a good pick if you want to like get a swap, because I don't think Simmons plays, and it's like, why not just stay on the clock?
Okay. I'm fine with it. I don't think Simmons plays either.
And if he does play, he's kind of a good pick.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Even if he does play and he only plays like 22 minutes or whatever, like he could do enough to be viable in the last round.
You want to do some baseball?
Sure.
Let me give Easy the bat signal, even though he's going to miss it.
All right, here you go. Well, do you want to try and fill a perfect game? Or should we just try and fill a dinger?
Try perfect game, sure.
Okay, let's try and fill a perfect game here and see what happens.
Have fun in that dinger lobby that probably just filled.
All right, we got 8 spots in a perfect game. Now we got 6. That's a good start.
Okay.
I will give it. It is 12:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right now. I will give this until 1:02 p.m. What do you think about that?
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
We got 4 more spots in the perfect game lobby. We got 3 more spots in the perfect game lobby. If we get down to 1, Nez will jump in as well, and then we're guaranteed to fill it.
I will. I'll have to deposit some money in, but we'll make it happen. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Boom. Perfect.
Done.
One of the things I really like about this perfect game format, the playing the mid to high stakes in NFL last season was fun. I liked doing that. I allocated less of BBM of my normal like max budget to those high stakes.
Okay.
They weren't like 4 out of 12 like this is, and like the Bulldogs had been in the past. So I didn't really, realize my EV necessarily on a lot of those big time entries. I really like that this is 4 out of 12.
Okay.
I just think it makes for more fun in my opinion. And it allows you to draft riskier, which people don't normally want to do in their higher dollar entries. They want to play it safer and the field is smaller, but you can take more risks because it's 4 out of 12, man.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good shout. That is a really good shout there. I mean, we talked about it a little bit with some of the high dollar playoff contests for NFL when they were 3 out of 6, where it was like, oh, now you can stack some bye weeks. Now you can do some crazy stuff like that. Yeah.
What'd you draw? Pick 8? Okay.
We got pick 8. I got a player in mind. I'm not gonna say it. You know, this is a high stakes draft. No matter what Easy says in the chat, this is a high stakes draft, buddy.
It was a nice. 100 was like perfect for this because it's hard to get. You know, the baseball liquidity was a bit of a challenge in years past. Even though we filled the dinger last year, but $100 is like a perfect spot for people that really want to have some skin. And I mean, I'm not turning my nose up at 20K to first. I still have yet to win a season-long best ball tournament, man.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm the only one.
You might be. No.
8 is a good spot, though. I was just gonna say that like 8 is awesome because you can, you know, just kind of take your pick of the litter or whatever you're left with there at the end. And there's really no bad option as far as the 8th option there. Is Ahmed Rosario in this with us?
Yep, he's right beside Easy there. Fuck Easy. God.
You wanted the new number 2 hitter for the Astros.
I wanted the Astros number 2 hitter. I got a laundry list of notes from spring training, and that's the one I like. I like Fernando Tatis more than Corbin Carroll, and it's my $100 Nez, so I'm taking Fernando Tatis Jr.
No, I don't know if it's like me being bored or like trying to take a stance, but like I like Tatis a lot. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of Tatis this season. I was taking him like 5 and 6 for a while there. Starting to balance that out with some Jordan. But I love Tatis.
I love this meta. I love this meta of like low key flipping the board a little bit, getting Freddie Freeman. Like if Freddie Freeman had outfielder eligibility, what pick does he go in this format?
Say that again. If what?
Freddie Freeman has outfield eligibility. Where does he go?
4.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. 4 is the number in my mind. Like, he is just such a good hitter.
Maybe 3. Yeah, probably 4. But yeah, dude, he's awesome. And yeah, maybe you put Corbin Carroll ahead of Freeman, but I think it's totally fine to do Freeman ahead of Carroll. I mean, Freeman's going to be like a top 6 pick like almost every day in dailies.
Right. I think we could play it a little different in the dinger than in the hundreds. And I think maybe flipping it around and taking Freeman from like the 5 or the 6, we do on stream one time and just see what it looks like.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's totally viable.
Hot Sauce does the Atlanta stack becoming more and more common on the end there. Tucker Bobby Witt start is fun for the Dog Bowl champ. See what A. Christie does here.
So you think you're buying into that Jordan and the 2 hole being like a pretty big deal?
I'm not sure. Like, you know, it might get blown out of proportion how big a deal it actually is, but I think it matters. Like an extra 0.2 at bats, basically. I got one name and one name only in my mind.
One name only. Who is it?
It's Michael L. Trout, baby. Money where my mouth is. I'm pushing up Trout. This is a generational opportunity to put the greatest baseball player ever in tandem with whomever you want to start this draft season.
Oh, man. I mean,
nobody agrees with me. I love it.
I love it. And then I look at the plate appearances and I'm like, wow, man, the last time that he had 600 plate appearances was like before COVID. And we're into the year 2024.
Yeah.
And he's not getting younger, but it's like, what if he plays when it matters most? You know?
Right.
What if?
Yeah.
I don't know. The no more stolen bases is a bummer too, but he hasn't been stealing bases forever. So that's like nothing new. I can't hate it, man. I can't hate it. Like
Yeah.
that's a good possibility from Jake there.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up there. Thinking he DHs a lot more without Ohtani. I could definitely see that. Speaking of DHing more, Byron Buxton's going to be DHing just like he did last year more again because they just traded for Manuel Margot to play center field for them. So that was one of my little news nuggets that I had there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a bummer, man. I want Buxton to play the field, but they got to keep this dude healthy somehow.
He's electric, man. I just wish he was what he once was.
They're so crowded now. I really did not like that move. That move really kind of sucked for how I draft. I mean, Walner's gonna get his, but yeah,
for an aging Kepler.
Well, Margot hits
breakout year at 32.
And I don't know if you saw, like, Kirilloff is getting a lot of love in camp too.
Is he?
Healthiest he's ever been, dude. Did you know? That's like, that's baseball for best shape of his life. They don't say best shape of your life in baseball. They talk about how healthy you are.
Michael Harris hit a bomb lead off the other day. I think I like Christian Yelich more than Albies and Harris, but I will entertain whatever you like here.
Interesting. Let's do Yelich. I never really take Yelich.
Okay. I like Yelich more than those two, I think.
And then I mean, you can do a lot of stacking with Milwaukee. That's like really cheap and kind of like sneaky fun. So
okay, be interesting spot here to see Ozzy Albies fall all the way back to the 36 because starting three outfielders would be hard to starting three infielders might be hard to overcome. But I have yet to see that where Ozzy Albies falls back to an Olsen Riley team. That might be like a 1-of-1 if you get that outfield combination.
Yeah, that would be absolutely crazy. I like what he did though, just like for the first two picks, like, hey, let's get a like I've noticed. I don't know if it's just like small sample, but I have noticed a lot more stacking in this season for these drafts.
Yeah. I think as the research becomes more prevalent, well, there's a perfect example of it, pushing up Nimmo to stack with Lindor at 36, 37 there. I think people are seeing the value in some of the research that, the stacking dingers guys and baseball are doing, that like it's a season-long contest, but it's a weekly contest. It's no different than our NFL best ball or stuff like that, where it's like the power of stacking in an isolated week when all the money's on the line really matters.
Yeah, I'm really leaning into it. I did it a lot last year, and it didn't come to fruition or anything, but like I'm to the point where I'm not even calling like Nimmo and Lindor like, yeah, that's extreme, but like I don't even think it's jumping the shark because I believe in the principles of stacking in baseball so much and like how much sense I think that they make that like I think that makes a lot of sense. I think if we were using the easy correlation sheet, the boost that you would get in baseball would be, even greater than what we saw for football, or maybe just as much because they were already pretty stark when you use that for NFL. I'm just all for it. Okay, man. What do we got? Pick 41.
Yeah, we can take a pitcher. Gausman or Castillo for me, or Bo Bichette. I really like Bo Bichette. Which of those?
You want to do Yoshi?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Gausman.
You like Gausman more than Castillo?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Gausman is just filth nasty.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to miss out on Yoshi, so I am taking a little bit of Yoshi here and there, dude. He's gonna be so good.
I'm totally fine missing out.
Two things that have me like wanting to like take him more is one, he's starting to fall a little bit as more and more people draft. He's starting to fall, and two, just so much money given to this guy, so much money, and he just seems like the real freaking deal. So,
I mean, he's nasty. There's no doubt he's nasty.
Yeah, and it's if I think he's fun and I think he's good, like, why don't I just take a little bit? Like, fuck it, just take a little bit.
Okay, if I give you 130, let's give it like a little more bullish. I give you 150 innings of Yoshi, or I give you 150 innings of Glasnow. Who would you take?
Glasnow.
Yeah. So why the fuck would I take Yoshi at ADP?
Because when's the last time Glasnow threw 150 innings?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Spoiler alert: he's never done it, and he won't ever do it. Projection, like even the rosiest projections on Glasnow, like
160.
It's 154 is the rosiest projection you're going to get.
Oh, Julian just made the exact same comp in the chat. Comp guys are on one right now.
But Yoshi, I trust Yoshi being able to throw more.
I gotcha. Ooh, Pitch saying he got one of those 4-way stacks today. I wonder, okay, so do you think it's easier to do from the 12 hole, or do you think it's easier to do from like the 7 or 8?
I think before 12.
Yeah.
Anytime before 12 is going to be easier for that.
Okay. Interesting.
And I like it. Dude, and like Yoshi, these Yoshi projections for his innings are just like fat.
11 hole.
I mean, the bat is out of its mind, but everybody else is 192, 188, 184, 170. That's like it's like 6 more starts.
Yeah.
7 more starts.
Be shocked to see Easy not take Alex Bregman here. Alex Bregman goes. Gallon feels nice. We could do the Machado stack with Tatis.
I think you should stack up Machado and Tatis.
All right, let's do it. I like it. Yeah, Gallon, a little bit of fall there, which is a nice thing to bite the bullet on. But when you already have Gosman locked up and you don't have an infielder yet, I mean, like Manny Machado, you want to flip the narrative to like daily streets? Like, let me pull up. Maybe I'll pull up the playoff schedule for San Diego in a second. But let's imagine they're playing at Arizona versus Brandon Pfaadt on a Wednesday in the daily streets, right? Tatis and Machado are going in the top of a daily slate with 6 games.
Again, it depends on who's playing. Sorry, I
just gave you that.
Who are they playing? Sorry, I was looking up some Gallon names.
They're playing the D-backs versus Brandon Pfaadt.
Machado, I'm not sure, but Tatis is probably like top 5.
Yeah, but like Tatis is top 5 and Machado's top 18, like 20 ADP 18.9 or whatever, right? Like just using that as like a forecasting metric for like a finals week stack. Like if they're both healthy and they're both in the finals, like
yeah.
Right.
I was looking up Zach Gallen stuff because I mean, dude, he pitched so much last year.
He did
210 in the regular season, and then 30 more in the postseason. I mean,
yeah,
that's scary. That's really scary.
What was his highest total prior to that?
Well, he pitched 184 the year prior, and then the year before that was 121. So, I mean, he really got ramped up quickly. You know, it's tough because it's like on one hand, some guys can just handle that. You know, like there are guys out there that just really are built different. And then more often than not, guys are not built different.
Right.
But, you know, at the same time, like showing that you can handle that much and be ready, like, you know, like sometimes that's a skill, but it's hard to say, man. Pitchers are, so it makes pitchers so tragic.
Yep. Nope. Couldn't agree more. All right. Kirby, Webb, Snell, Rutschman.
Kirby or Webb? What do you think about that?
I like Webb.
Yeah, Logan Webb rules. Great park if you didn't know. Impossible to hit a home run where he pitches.
Yeah, impossible.
He's just so perfect for there too, though. Like, I mean, with the fly ball rates, like it's great. Fits like a glove. Sorry, go ahead.
A couple nuggets from the weekend there. Teoscar hit a ball off the top of the wall with bases loaded, and people are singing the praises of him in the ballpark comparative to him in Seattle last year, despite also having a good end of the year in Seattle. In that lineup, they were talking 5th and 6th potentially hitting there. Yeah, I don't know, pretty crazy. Evan Carter got hit on the wrist and then went for an MRI, and everything checked out. And then he was on the backfields today and homered off John Gray. So that was just like my nugget to be like, he's fine despite getting hit by a pitch in the wrist there. Wyatt Langford getting some mega steam out of camp there just in general. And Bruce Bochy said that there was a likelihood. I think the phrasing, I'm butchering the phrasing, but something to the extent of like, there was definite possibility he can break the team on the 26th to start the year.
Yeah, he's probably going to. I mean, he's the real deal. He's really good. My nugget.
Yep.
Joe Musgrove has made 2 starts in spring training. He's made 5 outs.
Yep.
Combined.
Yep.
0 strikeouts. 4 earned runs in each start.
Wow. Is he working on something? Is there a pitch mix thing? Like, is he throwing something new?
Well,
did he watch?
He threw 7 pitches against the Dodgers. So maybe he's working on something on those 7 pitches. And then he threw 12 pitches against Cleveland. So
interesting. Yeah, neither of that indicates.
Hey man, I'm trying not to panic, but like I feel like pitching is what you can really glean the most from in spring training. Mm-hmm. What are we supposed to glean from that?
Right. Yep. Entirely fair.
That's not good. He also completely fucking mushed a pick'em I had going where he was the last one that I needed to cash. That MFer. God damn. I had one yesterday too. All I needed was Muncy to like not get a hit and not it was less than or lower than 3.5 fantasy points. The last thing I needed, I was going to the movies, dude. Just feeling so good. And then I checked my phone and in play runs because Muncy hit a home run and I could have won a cool grand on that one.
Gross.
Oh, dude, I was so mad.
I don't know why Adley's falling like this. Maybe just because he's a catcher and they think he's not going to get as many at bats.
I would take Adley.
I'm inclined to take him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was top 20 in plate appearances last year.
Yeah. It does say he was scratched on Friday. I don't know. He hit a ball to the wall on Thursday night. And he was robbed, but actually, no, it did get out. Oh, no, this is not scratched on Friday. It's 5 months ago. I don't know why Adley fell that far there.
People don't like catchers in the the $100 tournaments. They're like, oh yeah, you can't draft a catcher, but like Adley DHs so much and the lineup is so good that everybody's gonna get theirs. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Adley Rutschman is really good.
Okay.
Like Easy said, he might be too good. Is he too good that he's not undisciplined enough to hit a ceiling because he takes so many walks? I'll take if that's the worst thing that you can say about a guy, I think I'll draft him.
That's the Juan Soto thesis. He's too good at taking walks that he's never going to hit 40, 45 home runs because he just gets on base too much. Ketel Marte goes there. It'd be interesting to see if we get a stack job from Evan Carter and Langford at the end here.
You almost certainly will.
Yeah.
The way Hot Sauce has been playing.
Yeah, he's been stacking it up all over the place.
Well, I got a good lower for us in the pick'em streets, man. You got to take lower on Shohei's at 5 fantasy points for a spring training game. Just take the lower, folks. You're welcome. Continue.
Yeah, he's probably only going to play like what, an at bat and a half. Okay,
Yeah,
this is going to come back to us here. We got 2-2-3. I like Yandy in general. I like Bellinger a decent amount here and sets up some back stacks. I think he's obviously mispriced now that he has a home. Is he worth more than Arenado? Or I like Carlos Rodon.
Here's an option. Do you want to play Brewers?
No.
Scroll just a little. You don't want to do Jackson Chourio?
No, he already went.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Taking
Bellinger.
Belly.
Yeah.
Wow. If Belly had outfield,
88? Yeah. I got to stand up after that.
If Belly still had outfield eligibility, now that we know the landing spot back with the Cubs, nothing's really changed. In theory, he should probably still have outfield eligible. I don't know. It's interesting. He did play first base a decent amount last year, but I think they might have prematurely switched him. Not Underdog. It's the stat provider. I don't know. That one was always interesting to me. But if he still had outfield eligibility and we basically get that exact same Cubs lineup back again this year, where do you put him?
He goes ahead of Nimmo, right? Goes ahead of Ian Happ.
Right. That's what I think. He goes
it's crazy.
He goes ahead of Happ, he goes ahead of Suzuki. You take him up here somewhere, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know unless you just got uber lucky last year, which
he made a big adjustment in his swing.
Yeah, didn't he go somewhere preseason? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Swing doctor?
Didn't someone talk about the swing doctor for 5 months on this program?
I guess the Bear case is he was. If you're gonna do BABIP analysis, he got pretty lucky.
Okay.
319 BABIP. That's not normally what he's doing, but 20 stolen bases too. I mean that's probably here to stay with the new rules, I would imagine. K rate just plummeted. So yeah, man, for my money, he's a good player. I'm a little upset that he's staying in the NL Central.
Yeah, I mean, for your team sake. It's interesting. Easy split his apart here, where he has him as 87 as infield and 76 as outfield. That seems I don't know. 76 seems a little high to me. I don't know. The models obviously don't like him as much as what we saw from him last year. Copper Price is asking 776. Is that your favorite structure? I right now like 686. That's where I'm at. What do you like, Nez?
I do a lot more 767.
767. Interesting.
I get the infield.
The outfield late.
Yeah, infield scores more points, but I like the way that I like drafting is, I'm spending less capital on outfield because I feel confident in the outfielders that I'm taking late. So I might as well just take 7 of them. Right. I love late outfield this season. Love it.
This is Yuri Perez for me. Or
Yuri or Xander.
Yeah, I mean Xander makes the nice stack. I forgot Xander was here. Let's take Yuri.
Okay.
We can do some lazy stacking stuff later too. I think the ceiling of Yuri is so nice right now, and he's throwing gas, and I'm really buying in right now.
Yuri is a hashtag good pitcher. It's that simple. He is the real deal. What the innings limit, sure, I get it, but he could be there when you need him most.
Mm-hmm. Billy's asking two of our guys, Cole Reagans and Rodon, being fantastic in their spring outings. I didn't watch either of them yet, to be honest. So I have no input on that. I've only seen,
Rodon is interesting. He's adding a cutter.
Yep.
Which to me says hey, I'm not my four seam is not getting the velo that it once was because I need to stay healthy. So I need to find a new way to play off that. And I play off that by adding the cutter. So that way you're not sure like what this fastball is doing. Is it straight or is it cutting? Because it's not just 100-mile-an-hour at your hands, like hit it.
That's the new meta of like this season. What the sweeper was last year is what fastball movement is this year.
Fastball movement's always going to be a thing.
Well, it's always been a thing, but like baseball's really like starting to talk about it again. Like they find like something new every single year to talk about, and this is what they're fuck me. There goes Morel. Do all this nice stuff to set up this beautiful spot where Morel's going to come back to our belly stack, and Morel goes 15 picks ahead of ADP. Swanson or Hunter Green? I guess Outman.
Hunter Green, if those are my options. See, this is what Billy.
I want Swanson.
Billy's saying this: you're the splitter. This is something to look out for, because I think more and more you're going to see teams like really kind of ask themselves, like, why are we not throwing splitters more? You're seeing it talked about where it's like all these Japanese pitchers are throwing splitters, and they're killer pitches. They are insanely good. I think that there is a learning curve to it, and I don't know if I said steep learning curve the other day, and apparently steep learning curve means something is easy to pick up. That doesn't make sense in my head. Someone tell me who's better with words than me. Seems like there's a learning curve to splitters, though. I'm not sure it's as simple as like, oh, it's a good pitch, why aren't more people throwing it? But you could see more of it, which would be interesting. I don't know how you adjust to that as a hitter. A good splitter is just so nasty.
All right. Talking about splitters?
Yeah. What do you think that it's why aren't Americans throwing as many splitters as Japanese pitchers when they're clearly a really good pitch? Is it just because it's hard to do well?
I think I would say it's hard to do well. It's hard to not tip it as well, like switching from that grip. So big thing with the splitter is you usually start from the splitter grip and then fake dig. So guys who throw splitters start base splitter in the glove and then fake dig and whatever. I think maybe it's taught more in Japanese circles or Asian circles to do that sort of thing. And you kind of have to reinvent. It's pretty hard to get to splitter grip without tipping splitter grip, not starting splitter grip, if that makes sense. I think that would be one. I think it's hard on your arm to throw splitter and then torque this way if you don't already throw two seam or sinker. So I think guys that would add it to their repertoire would be guys who have a natural snap motion this way. That's just kind of my initial bro science thoughts.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it is definitely a little hard on your arm there too. What's Ahmed Rosario's team looking like? 514 right now. I've done quite a few like that.
Castillo, Skubal, Cease, Eflin, and Hunter Green. And then Shohei, Luis Robert, never going to say Robert, Jr., the tool shed, and Teo. And then Jose Ramirez as the anchor infield. And he just took Chas McCormick, who I was going to ask you about.
He's going to be pissed.
Oh, you think Easy was going to take him anyways? Okay.
Maybe.
Then it's all good. Taylor Ward goes there. Willie Adames feels nice as a stacking partner here. I think he's underpriced with Yelich. But if we need other positions...
No, I think Adames is a fine pick.
And I think he's a better pick than Kim.
Yeah.
Kim coming off stealing season.
I know. Right? Is he really going to repeat that?
I mean, he had one of the best wars for shortstop in a long, long time. A lot of that's his defense, but just in general.
Yeah, I mean, he was like their best offensive player last year.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, I'm like I said, man, I really like my late outfielders, so I'm totally fine with loading up on infield and pitching after rounds 2 and 3.
All right.
This is an odd range of pitching, and I don't know if you saw Gumby is like rumored to the Red Sox right now. They had quote unquote good talks.
Okay. I mean,
so that would be bad.
Yeah, I don't love it for a lefty in that park.
Yeah, like that'd be very bad. But where are these guys going to end up? Like, I think Boris is kind of fumbling the bag here a little bit. We're obviously pro labor, pro player, all that jazz, but I think Boris kind of like overplayed his hand. These teams are, it's even worse than before where like teams like don't like to sign free agents because there is an overwhelming amount of like pre-ard players that are just like flooding the games and they cost like less than $1 million a year for the most part. So it's an immediate like bad financial move when you sign somebody, especially for what Boris wants. Like, I think he might end up like screwing some of these guys, especially a guy like Blake Snell, where Blake Snell is like awesome stuff. If Blake Snell ends up signing a 1-year deal and he's mid, like you could cost this dude hundreds of millions.
Right. Yeah, definitely the Snell one. Darvish, Javier, him as a stack, or Ton. We just gotta take my dog, eh?
Just do it.
We gotta take my boy.
I was gonna suggest Jack, but
I had too much Jack, and it's all been on your suggestion. And I've fallen into the trap of keep clicking him because I gotta diversify and get my guys in here.
You do. This is your team after all.
True, it's true.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately capitulating to the Jack propaganda.
Yeah, I definitely tend to build more balance than you do throughout for whatever it's worth. I mean, I do mess around with different types of builds and stuff like that, but I definitely like, taking outfield here instead of like having to find 4 later.
Yeah, I've been building the whole plane out of the black box lately, and just like my pitching staffs have a lot of Cease and Green, and I am doing more Glass now, and it's like, oh wow, like this could either go really right or really wrong.
Right, no, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not what I used to do. I used to be way more like
conservative.
Yeah. I was way flatter last season, and it's funny because like I was also very confident going into last best ball season, and I was pretty confident the year before that. I'm confident again, but I do feel like I have made changes. I feel like it's not like I don't think I'm doing the same thing that I know I'm not doing the same thing I was doing last year. So,
all right,
that's fun.
Respect it.
It's gonna be funny though if this Montgomery stuff ends up being like a facade, and then he goes like somewhere awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes to Boston, he probably still goes in this range. If he goes, I don't think his awesome, he probably still goes higher. Like, I think
no matter where he signs, he's going to get a bump because people see a team name there, and it's like even if it's a bad park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the dude's gonna go, but.
Yeah, likewise. I had a couple other nothing meaningful. I had a couple other spring notes. Your boy, I saw a tweet. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Eric Cross. I don't want to like wrongfully
baseball guy.
Baseball guy, but it was like we're so back, and it was a screen grab of Cabrian Hayes with 105 mile per hour ground ball and 106 mile per hour ground ball, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I gotta show that to Nez." Like, oh, we're so back. Just Cabrian Hayes pounding it into the ground,
hitting it hard, baby.
Okay, does Kim fall enough that we have to stack him here? I don't want to. Let's take someone else. Let's take Brandon Fott because I like Brandon Fott.
Let's do it. We need
Who
some
else
pitching.
Do you like?
You
like Erod more?
Dude, I actually don't like Erod at all.
All right, perfect. I like Brandon Fott.
I used to love Erod. Used to love him. Now I just don't think his stuff is really there. And I'm way more focused on like guys that have nasty stuff, even if they can't locate it. Like, I just want the nastiest guys every time that I draft.
I respect it. I respect it fully.
And I don't know how far you want to scroll down, but there are. I guess we can wait. We can wait. Let me utilize this private chat feature here.
Okay.
Tell you what.
I got a guy. Okay. I got a guy. I'll add it in here too. See, he's getting steam right now, and I don't love him, but dude, I can see it.
He's awesome for what he does and where he plays.
Okay. This is who I want next. There you go.
Yeah, you can say that one out loud. Ain't no one taking him. That is all you, buddy.
Nobody wants him, eh?
I am a little skittish on him, but it's. We'll see. We'll be able to not quit talking cryptically in like 2 seconds here, and then. Wow. This is such bad radio.
Yeah.
But we're trying. We're in the middle of the competition. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be awesome.
Easy bringing up the playoff schedule there. He was alluding to, who did he say?
Oh shit! The Sox. If the Sox play in Baltimore, then all is forgiven. Story.
That's a good point. Yeah, I kind of like Story. I like Isak.
Of course, love Isak and I love Hayes, but Story stacks.
Story.
Yeah,
let's stack them up.
Yeah, I'm worried that Story is washed, but he plays in Fenway and he's a right-handed hitter. So
yeah, lefty killer, baby. Gonna yank some over that wall.
God, he was so freaking bad last year, even when he was healthy.
Yeah, but he wasn't fully healthy. He got hurt right when he came back too. Not hurt, but banged up. To address the question, I am looking here. I'll just bring it up. Round 4, Boston at home versus Toronto for 4. At Detroit for 3, that's good. At Mets for 3, that's good. In Chicago, White Sox for 3, which is
that's at home.
Sorry.
Which is good because you'll want to pitch against the White Sox.
Yeah,
more likely than not.
Yeah. They got one kid who's kind of nice right now. Shortstop who's coming up, who might come up in that range of time. Oh, I'm blanking on the kid's name. He played for them on Saturday when they played the Mariners and they were televised. Shortstop prospect, big boy.
For what team?
White Sox.
Oh, I don't even know who that would be.
Yeah.
Let me look up roster resources. Try to figure out who that is. Dominic Fletcher?
Nope.
Kidding.
Nope.
It's not Brendan Shoemake, is it? And there's no Lucius Fox. Bro, all these minor leaguers, in the quote unquote,
that's a nasty name.
You should know Lucius Fox is an insanely sick name. These shortstops are in AAA and they're 26, 26, and 29. Okay, bud. It might be Colson Montgomery?
Yeah, Colson Montgomery. That's the kid.
6'3", 225. Nice. Yeah, the TLDRs, you might be too big for a shortstop. Well,
yeah. He hits tanks. Evaldi for me. I like Evaldi, and I think he's mispriced right now.
I take a good bit of Evaldi. Yeah, that's fine. Unless you want to do William Contreras, but yeah.
I don't want another catcher and 7th infielder right now. There's one more stacking partner that fits an outfield need in a second. There's actually two, and it's kind of why. Let's see here. We'll see what happens here. We don't want to spill our beans to the dog bowl camp over here.
Sorry, man. I've got outfielders for days until they as soon as these guys start going.
But like, do you have good outfielders?
I only have good outfielders.
Oh shoot. Starling Marte, Brian Bello. What's the difference in Brian Bello and Taj Bradley?
Brian Bello,
whatever. Fuck off. I mispronounce everyone's name.
Is going.
But what's the difference?
Dude. The difference is they are like complete opposite pitchers. Bello doesn't strike anybody out, but he doesn't give up runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bradley's got nasty stuff, but he's gonna rock like a 5 ERA all season.
Are we sure about that?
So far,
I like Bradley. They both throw hard. They're both young. That was my
Bradley is young. Bradley is young, and if you want to hold on to that XFIP for dear life, then there's something there. Projections think that he'll be pretty good. So
one is good, one is not. I love that.
I'm a Bello guy. I mean, absolutely no ceiling, but I can't help it. I like him.
Garrett Mitchell on the list of your good outfielders?
No. Maybe Cal Mitchell. Not Garrett.
So Shoemaker's a former number one Braves prospect. There you go.
Of course, man.
These guys were all over Braves get Montgomery stuff.
The Braves get these high prospects and then they trade them away, and everyone thinks like, oh yeah, we just got the Braves like best prospect, and then they sign Michael Harris to an extension. Like, oh yeah, you thought Pache was the one?
Yeah,
like, we've been saving Michael Harris all along.
That's a good shout.
Same with Shoemaker. So what are you thinking for 7 pitchers here?
Yeah, I think so. But you could talk me into 6 because I kind of like the staff right now. Okay, this for me is outfielder, and it's either Austin Hayes or Sal Frelick, and they both stack. Who do you like?
Sal Frelick for sure.
Okay. He's playing third base now.
Playing every damn day. He's going to He's going to rack up the base hits.
Who scores more points this year? Jackson Chourio? Is that how you say it? Chourio? Jackson, I said it right the first time. Jackson Chourio at 19 and a half years old, or Sal Frelick, who we saw some of it last year, playing every day.
I signed it. I'm not allowed to speak.
Why not? You like Jackson a lot?
Mm-mm. I think Sal Frelick does.
Yeah, I think Sal Frelick does too. That's why I brought it up.
But we're not allowed. We're going to be silenced by big hype.
One goes 80 spots ahead. The other one might not even break camp.
He will. He signed an extension. He will.
So you think they just have him day one?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to play a lot. But I'm scared. I'm scared of the kid. I hardly ever take him.
Easiest thing to do is be a hater.
I mean, I've said my piece on the kid. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. I just think everybody is like there's very few players being drafted at a more of a right tail outcome than Chourio is right now.
Right.
I think I said Chourio's 75th percentile is elite compiler. That's outfield Nico Horner.
Okay. Yeah, outfield Nico Horner. Okay. All right, we're gonna have a decision here, Nez.
Did my guy go? So you need to take Kyle Harrison.
Hayes and shut it down.
You need to take Kyle Harrison.
I think Harrison had a chance of coming back to us until you said his name.
I don't think so.
Okay, fine. We'll take him.
You got to take Kyle Harrison.
Okay. You think this guy's the truth?
I do think he's the truth. I'm very much bullish on Harrison for two main reasons that go hand in hand. One is fastball is elite. A big fan of guys that just have nasty four seams. Very good fastball, and the fact that his fastball is his best pitch, that kind of goes hand in hand with like hard exit velocities, but pitching in San Francisco can probably limit some of that if those end up being fly balls, where he can probably get pretty lucky and have the ability to, have some really sick home starts. So I'm really buying into Kyle Harrison. His like MLB season long pick'em was way higher than I would have expected it to be for Ks. Kyle Harrison on the Underdog pick'em lobby. 148 strikeouts, which is like more than I would have like expected them to have for him.
Likewise. Yeah, that's much more than I would have thought. Okay, Nez, we got some decisions to make here. If we're going to play the hits or not.
I don't know. What do people come here to see? Do they want to see us? Do they want to see some variety on the teams? Or do you want to see us hit some dingers? Do you want to know the truth?
You guys want to know the terrifying truth about Major League Baseball? Or do you want to watch me sock a few dingers?
All right. What are we at right now? 665?
665. We got 3 picks left. One of them is just screaming to be Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah, that's your guy, man. And
one is
you kind of talked me into
it.
I would have sworn, not on anything major, but I would have sworn that Mountcastle was losing plate appearances to O'Hearn last year, like 1v1.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't the case.
Mountcastle, Noelvi, or pitching. Taj or Ryan Pearett.
Fuck. Taj.
Yeah. Okay. I like Taj. This pretty moony pitching staff here with 7. I don't know if we needed 7, but it feels good to have 7. This feels like a good staff. Cosman, Webb, Yuri Perez, Brendan Pfaadt, Evaldi, Kyle Harrison, Taj Bradley. That feels comfy to me.
I like it. Because with Yuri, I think it is okay to, say like, oh yeah, he's going to have some awesome starts, but he might not be starting every single week. So just to kind of give you some upside there at pitching with Taj, because he does have a high ceiling, like, for everything that I've said on the kid, the ceiling is there.
Yeah, definitely on a start-to-start basis too, just because the K rate could spike. I like him.
Yeah, the thing that is a little weird is like Tampa has been pretty hit or miss with their pitching development. Like you see, Springs be awesome, McClanahan be awesome, and then like they acquired the kid from the Padres.
Ryan Pearett. Oh,
Patino.
Luis Patino.
Yeah, like maybe he was just a cooked product.
Right.
Yeah, let's see them work their magic on Taj, and then he absolutely smashes.
Look at Eflin. Like Eflin's like the bull case for that last year too. They go out, they get Eflin, like he looks like a totally different guy. Now he's going in the mid rounds in this contest.
Mm-hmm.
I have one outfielder in mind. Wallner went there. This outfielder is absolutely playing the hits. You know who put on a little weight? Well, we talked about how Doyle put on a little bit of weight, 20 pounds of muscle or whatever there in Coors. Positive reviews from the other guy, Sean Bouchard, that we were talking about how he has the highest projection for WRC Plus on Colorado and nobody drafts him. Mm-mm. Getting some positive camp reviews right now too.
If you weren't on stream, would you have normally said drafts?
What did I say?
Nobody drafts him.
Drops them.
Is that you? Is that you off camera?
That's just I doubt it. That's just me being like not that smart, dude. I'm playing the hits with these final 2 picks, Nez, and you have no say in the matter.
Good. I want to. Hey, just homered.
Mitch Hanagoat with a leadoff homer the other day. Leadoff an inning homer.
You know how mad
to that 40 home run potential.
Yeah, dude. You know how mad I'm gonna be if Mitch Hanagoat comes back and like lights the world on fire after like I sold my soul to this dude last year. Oh man, on the Giants, like he's an everyday player. Like, yeah, let's go.
Good. Oh, and then we were talking up the park, like how the right field or left field wall's in a little bit. All his powers to the pull side. Like, even though he's probably not going to hit as many home runs, he's going to play more and what.
Dude, I just thought he was the guy. I didn't think it was possible for him to fail. And holy crap! I mean, his worst season, literally even worse than his rookie season. His worst season.
Yeah.
Oof.
Interkid 80 came out. Yeah. Differential in here saying he likes Dean Kramer and with the Bradish injury. That's a good shout.
Yeah, I mean that's a good shout. And you know, like Kramer is like a fine pick, but like and it's splitting hairs. I'm just like much more of a Tyler Wells guy than a Dean Kramer guy.
Okay, that's fair. Same thesis, different product.
Yeah, and I mean the underlying stuff is the same. Wells had a little bit of a better results on the season. I just like watching Tyler Wells pitch when he's going.
Okay. Harrison Bader getting some love in the last round there from the hot sauce. Making that Met stack. Conforto as well. He took Dean Kramer there as well. I like the Tyler Estrada pick from the Dog Bowl champ. I like Estrada, man.
I know everybody does. Everybody likes Estrada. He's everybody's sneaky infield pick this season.
When they're playing in Coors, he's gonna go like ahead of Fernando Tatis Jr. and stuff in dailies. Okay, I will let you pick.
Jordan Hicks.
I wanted to let you pick. Okay. Jorge Polanco with Hanagoat. No, let's just do Polanco. Polanco's in a way better spot. Polanco's in a better spot than Mountcastle. You like Mountcastle better?
I just don't draft Jorge Polanco.
No?
Not really.
He had some nice stretches last year, but yeah, he just hasn't been healthy for a while.
Where's he going to play for? Is he their third baseman?
Second baseman. Second base. He'll play second.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, they're still trying to figure out how to make Matt Chapman work, I think.
I think so, too. I think they want to make Chapman and Snell coming home work.
You think that they're working that'd be crazy. A little 2-for-1 there. You think they'll have Snell? Like their rotation's
so loaded. It's so loaded. Yeah. But I think that was their original thought process after the Robbie Ray deal. But yeah.
The rotation is
there we go. We talked about that one, the Noda one. That one's good.
Yeah, I love Noda.
Yeah. Yastrzemski?
Ooh,
easy.
What?
That is, dude, that's low key. That's low key discounted accumulator. What's the difference in Jung Ho Lee? What's the difference in Jung Ho Lee and Yastrzemski? Yastrzemski runs. That's the difference.
Is he still gonna run? Yastrzemski doesn't run.
He did like 4 years ago.
No, he didn't. He didn't though.
He had like a sick year where he like broke roto leagues. That was like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. He ran that year, didn't he?
No, I'm looking at it. He for his career, he has 15 stolen bases. I would have bought in if I hadn't had the stats.
I swear he ran that year.
Let's see what he did. Well, he had 25 homers in 21. No, dude, I like these Giants. I like getting the left-handed Giants. I threw out Lamont Wade in our infield episode.
Yeah. I mean,
some guys just need to be made outfielders.
Yeah, we'll be reminded in a heartbeat when you start playing the dailies and you get like a good matchup, or maybe this is kind of like low-key biased in the way we're biased to like the Warriors and the Lakers and stuff like that because they're always on the dad. Maybe we're kind of low-key biased to the Giants because they're always on the Dinger After Dark slate.
I'm biased to the Giants because nobody else is. So it's like you take the Giants because like nobody drafts them, and
it's because nobody knows what the starting lineup's going to be any effing day.
But like, not that hard. Draft the lefties if a righties on the mound. You know,
right?
I want
Austin Slater leading
the
off.
only reason why like I had a good season last year is because I think 2 or 3 slates I won because I was drafting Giants.
What about oh shit. Why am I blanking on his
for the Giants?
Wilmer Flores. What about him? Lefty killer? Like, okay, picture this. It is a Dingers After Dark slate. We have 3 games on it. One's the Seattle game, one's the Dodgers game, and one's Giants at Padres. This is Dinger After Dark slate right here. Lefty on the mound for, I don't even know who the lefty could be. I was going to say Ryan Weathers, but he's already been moved on for the Padres. Lefty on the mound for the Padres. Where is Austin Slater, Wilmer Flores, Austin Slater, Wilmer Flores, Estrada, and JD Davis going in a draft?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, baby. Like, that's what I mean. And none of these guys get drafted because they're only going to play like 500 plate appearances for like the entire year.
Dude, the Wilmer Flores shout is really good. Like, hold on. Let's just like think about this for a minute. So Kapler's gone, but they probably are still going to do their platoon thing just because it's sort of how they're built. But they're like Flores is the starting third baseman. Lamont Wade is the starting first baseman.
Okay.
Flores bats right. Wade bats left. With a righty on the mound, like they're going to start Flores at third over JD Davis, right?
No, they'll start JD Davis, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Flores was a much better hitter last year.
Okay, but let's just say one of them's DH and one of them's, because you put Soler in the outfield, right? You don't DH Soler, or do you have to?
No, he's DH
Soler?
every day.
Fuck. That really limits things because Wilmer Flores played a lot of DH last year.
Well, if there's a lefty on the mound, then he's good because JD Davis plays first over Lamont Wade. Like, it's just Flores versus JD Davis, and they're both righties. So if Flores wins that job, he's like low key. Like, that's a good shout, man. Low key, like really sneaky pick. I mean,
and you think
slugged 509 last year and 454 plate appearances.
Yeah, man, he hits tanks off lefties. I don't know. It's just like hard to find interest in like a 32-year-old right-handed, maybe platooning infielder in a 20-round draft.
But if he's not platooning.
But if he's not platooning, yeah.
No, who the fuck is drafting Wilmer Flores? Nobody. He doesn't even have an ADP.
I know, right? I don't know. There's just like when you start thinking through our daily lens for these games, you realize how shallow the player pool truly is. And that like you can do anything you want with the last rounds.
How deep it is, you mean?
I mean like how shallow everyone's drafting from.
Oh, the average player pool is way
shallow. Average player pool
100%.
Is way more shallow. Yeah.
100%.
And like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that like just like JT Realmuto didn't get drafted. Like he puts up 1K points every year and he runs a little bit and he's in a good lineup.
That's weird because he was going like 10th round last year or something crazy.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, but the plate appearances were down. He's on the. I mean, I can understand that, but there's going to be slates where JT Realmuto puts up 30. There's always. I still have those JT Realmuto slates in the back of my head.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
no, but the daily lens puts things into focus big time.
Right. Like, how far apart are Cronenworth and Kim well, one never gets drafted and one goes every single draft. Like, how far apart are they actually in terms of like a weekly ceiling output in the playoffs? I think Cronenworth's a better hitter.
Crone versus JT, was that the comp?
No, versus Kim.
Sorry.
Like, I'm looking at two guys on the same team that like one gets stacked 100% and one doesn't get stacked at all.
I mean, last year everybody was taking. I mean, nobody was drafting Kim last year. Everyone was taking Cronenworth.
Yeah.
So this year, Cronenworth projects for like a 740 OPS.
Mm-hmm.
Kim projects for like less than that.
Man, Roster Resource has Cronenworth hitting second too. They have Kim hitting fifth.
Yeah, some of their stuff I'm like iffy
that
on.
One's a little iffy, yeah.
But I mean, dude, they're not very deep, so
right.
It's probably not far off. It's either him or Kim or flip flop in there.
Right.
I can understand why they want an outfielder.
Yeah, I mean, Jerkson Profar is going to play every single day, and nobody likes him. Obviously, it's a bad park, and this lineup is not nearly as good as it once was. And Profar had the nut outcome last year of being in Colorado, and he still sucked. But
dude, they might make a trade with the Pirates.
I love how you just like look at their roster resource. And you're like, yeah, they're going to trade with the Pirates. We got a plethora of outfielders that everybody wants.
Dude, they wanted Sal Frelick. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You're not getting Sal Frelick. Like, say what you will about him, but he's a big part of the Brewers' future. The Pirates, though, they just acquired. They have. Maybe they'll just end up putting this dude on waivers, but Palacios, I would think would draw some interest from them. He's marginally better than what they have. Edward Olivares, marginally better than what they have. And they have Billy McKinney as a non-roster invite, who, lest we forget, Billy McKinney had some nice ABs for the Yankees as a lefty.
For the Yankees last year, yeah. All right. I mean, it's not crazy. I don't know. My biggest takeaway when I just looked at this roster is like, why the fuck don't we take Rowdy Tellez in the last round? Like, left-handed power plays better there than right-handed power. Like, Rowdy Tellez was going in the top 120 last year. He had a down year in a good park to hit for left-handed hitting power in Milwaukee. But like,
I hope he bounces back.
People were falling in love with him once Toronto moved on finally. And it was like, oh, finally, he's going to get every day at bats. He doesn't have to platoon with Alejandro Kirk anymore. Let's give this guy an opportunity, right? And he falls flat on his face. And he was hurt a little bit last year, but he low-key fell flat on his face. Like, why don't we do a little cheeky backstack in our Jack Swinsky stuff with Rowdy Tellez instead of pairing it with Ke'Bryan Hayes? Like, just
because Tellez is gonna have like 130 less plate appearances, I would think. 120.
Yeah, but if you sneak that team through to the finals or whatever, and he's your 20th round pick, and instead of Ke'Bryan Hayes in the 15th round, you have so-and-so, and now your one-off contrarian piece is the fact that Rowdy Tellez falls into 4 home runs in the finals week. It's not crazy. Whereas like everybody with the Swinsky stuff would have Hayes, most likely.
Yeah, probably.
Right? I don't know. I'm just playing like painting a narrative and like, here, let's go round 3. They are okay here in the finals. Pittsburgh is here. I'll just share it. And like, I haven't even thought through this. I'm just talking through it on the fly. But in the finals, they're at home, at Cleveland, which is bad. But then at Chicago in the middle of summer is great. Washington at home is good. So like that last week, they play every single day, and they're at Chicago. You get a wind blowing out Wednesday game on the 3rd there. Why not?
But what you're forgetting is Patrick Corbin is going to do the unprecedented and start 4 straight games for the Nationals.
Yeah, actually, Nationals, low-key, Mackenzie Gore's left-handed. Corbin's left-handed. I mean, you could go down.
I don't even know their rotation after that.
We could go down that. Well, it should be.
Josiah Gray's in there. I know that for sure.
Yeah, he's right-handed. The other one is Eric. Who's everyone falling in love with from KBO?
Well, he's a White Sox.
No, I know. I'm being facetious that he should be
Fetty.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fetty. They gave up.
Oh no, they've got Jake Irvin, who we love.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Easy's right. Hoops guys love hoops, but like dudes naming baseball players is the best. It's true, man. I fully agree.
It's where it's at. It's where it will always be.
All right, let's do one last team here, just one round and one entire bowl on this show, just because I'm in the absolute mood. We talked about Milwaukee a little bit today. Royals aren't that fun, but Drew Waters never gets drafted. Nelson Velasquez goes every single draft. Drew Waters doesn't. Drew Waters is younger, might be better.
I like Nelson Velasquez if we're looking at the Royals.
Okay, fine. Let's do the Royals. Let's see here. MJ Melendez leading off. Yeah, let's see. Man, if you played like what was the baseball game? Shit. Like the recent ones. The show. Kyle Isbell would pop in the show like a couple years ago when I played like the show. Like he drafted Kyle Isbell and it was like this is such a deep dive comp. He was like Corey Patterson in MVP baseball 2005, where he was like the rookie that couldn't miss every single time. Like Greinke couldn't miss as the rookie in that game. Kyle Isbell was that guy in MLB The Show in like 4 years ago when I played it.
Corey Patterson.
There you go.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What? Who the fuck is this guy, John? He has one season over 100 WRC plus. Like, there's got to be contingencies to who you're gonna name drop here.
He was the Cubs prospect who had the little foot icon and the bat icon and the glove icon beside his name in MVP Baseball 2005. He could not miss.
He was the ass icon there.
He was the prospect that could not miss who stunk, right?
God.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Drew Waters did nuke some slates last year. Like he was the guy you needed a bit there. Yeah, there you go. Garcia might lead off, play third base every day. He's gonna play third base, right?
He's better for
there you go.
Leagues. Like where on base percentage is a thing. It's so low ceiling for us. Like I applaud the Royals every single year for like low key trying, but it's still a bad team. But
remember when they had Franmil Reyes hitting fourth last year in spring, and like he hit a homer in like one of his first games or something like that, or he hit like a double or whatever, and we drafted him a couple of times on stream. We're like, this guy could hit fourth every single day for the Royals. He was like DFA'd like 3 weeks later.
One thing I'll never forget is the Nick Prado slate, where Nick Prado just broke everything, and it was like, who the fuck is drafting Nick Prado out of the league like weeks later? Isn't even projected to crack the opening day roster for this team. Like that I can't wait to feel that feeling of rage again whenever like I look and it's like few at the top because he has a Michael Massey, Michael Garcia stack.
No. It's the Garrett Hampson slate, and everybody's talking up like, remember him in Colorado, man? Everybody thought he was going to go 2020 in Colorado. Now he's leading off for the Royals today versus a lefty. Here we go.
God, dude. I need it back in my life.
Fuck yeah. So good.
Tired of just doing everything.
The fun thing about like the scrolly F down and the mantra and stuff is like it just so greatly applies to like baseball. It applies to like it just like it greatly applies to those sports more so than basketball, because like basketball is just like so projectable and it's like so hard to find that. Maybe tonight's slate you can find the sneaky guy who's going to play 32 minutes instead of 24 and just gets hot, but like in baseball, it's like, man, you could tell yourself a story for why it's Nelson Velasquez day. And like he's
work.
ADP 36 flat, right?
Yeah, I know, man. That's why I like all these other people in this space. I'm like, you gotta understand, like you love the idea of getting leverage over the field on a player that nobody else is taking. Like, this is your fucking sport. This is it.
Right. Yeah.
This is it,
the
man.
sport for you.
Scratch that itch.
All right, Nez, let's have a bow on it here.
Yeah, let's go.
This is our final product, a 776 in a perfect game, not dinger today. Thanks everyone for hopping in and filling it. Let's make this the new normal in some respects going forward on some streams here so we can keep filling these perfect games, because you do have a hard time filling them without pinging the Discord or tweeting it out or having some help. People do sit idle in the lobbies for a long time. So this will help everybody get volume if we start filling them on stream. Anyways, 776, Gosman, Webb, Perez, Fott, Evaldi, Harrison, Bradley. I love it.
Nasty.
Machado, Rutschman on a 14 pick discount. Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson, Willie Adames, Trevor Story, Jorge Polanco, Fernando Tatis, who's not junior for some reason anymore, Fernando Tatis Jr., Mike Trout, Christian Yelich, Ton, a.k.a. the big beefy Canadian monster, Tyler O'Neill, Sal Frelick, and Mitch Hanna, GOAT, as he's known around here. What do you think, Nez?
I'm going to give this a strong 8 out of 10.
Okay.
A little unique in the infield, but it's what if these Seattle guys are the guys you need? Pitching staff is just dirt nasty. So
dirt nasty.
No complaints there. Strong 8 out of 10. Congrats. You're going to advance, I think.
I really like the thought process of 3 veteran inning eating arms in like Gosman, Webb, Evaldi, and then scatter shot around them, sealing strikeout guys in Fott, Perez, Kyle Harrison to a lesser extent, but could be an innings guy, and then Taj Bradley. So like we have the 4 kind of like Spike Weeky type shoot the moon if they get 2 starts and strike a bunch of guys out. But then we also got the reliable, stable arms on the veteran side. I like this staff a lot.
Yeah, a little bit of both there, like you said.
Love it. All right, let's tie a bow on it. We will be back. Are you going to do solo tomorrow? One of us do solo tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay. Do something. Hopefully off keep the winning streak alive, come in with some good vibes, and we'll talk some hoops. And
okay.
We'll probably stick to hoops.
Okay, cool. Big NBA slates the next 3, I think maybe even 4 days. So we'll definitely have some paywall streams on Tuesday and Thursday for those. It'll be Nez tomorrow. And then Off and On the Clock is back on Wednesday. We'll get back in the football streets. We haven't done the football in a minute. We'll do a big board draft with Pete there. We'll talk through all the moving pieces in the NFL streets right now and some of the rookie stuff, I imagine. And other than that, Nez, anything you want to say?
No, I'll see you in the lobbies, though.
All right. Best of luck to everybody in the hoop streets tonight. And we'll be filling dingers and hoops drafts the remainder of the day. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Hit that like, subscribe, notification, please. And thank you. We'd like to keep coming back.